Welcome, fellow artists, to Lyricology 101. I still don't have my channel back yet, y'all. But we're back again with another personal bar for bar breakdown with my man Boppa. Now, before we get started, this song is very abstract and in a unique kind of way. It's kind of like it feels like it's something similar in the vein of like a Earl Sweatshirt or maybe even an MF Doom. I feel like a lot of the lines require multiple translations. There's just so much depth to this one. So if it seems a bit abstract for you guys, just discover your own interpretation. All right. So my man Boppa, we about to cover this one. If you guys are interested in getting your song covered, hit me up at lyricology101 mail at gmail.com. Let me know what's up. Or you can hit me up on Instagram at lyricology101. Let's get the ball rolling. My man Boppa with Ring.
A ring bells, soon as in ring guns. Blast can shape a rash as in ringworms. Be a silent girl so this man can speak. Yo, yo.
All right, before we continue, that's just the intro. All right, so he hasn't dropped yet. He's just kind of, he's going to bring this up later. Ring bells and the ring guns lines. All this is going to come back later. Cadence wise, okay, so if you see some gray, it's a flow. If you see some color, it's some rhyme. He cadence wise matched ring bells, ring guns, ring worms, 2-syllable swing. We get some internals with blast and rash, and then of course, man can speak, right? But that's not it. We haven't started yet. The bars haven't started rolling yet, so give them a second.
Duke it out, beatbox or juke it out. Bodies in a retox or puke it out.
All right, so duke it out, 3-syllable swing, duke it out, juke it out, puke it out. And then you got the internal beatbox with retox, real smooth, real fast. I do feel like he has some influence from like a Doom. He loves to go like beatbox, retox. He's trying to make sure that the rhymes are at least close to perfect. And I could really respect that. Duke, juke, and puke. It's not an easy rhyme style. And when you go for the perfect rhymes and you try to dedicate yourself to the perfect rhymes, that's what makes it difficult.
Well, belt in a measure, pelt in a treasure. A push or a pull, felt in a pressure.
All right, so same cadence, belt in the measure, felt in the treasure. That's a 4, right? Belt in a measure. That's a 5, my bad. So 5-syllable rhyme with belt in the measure, pelt in the treasure, and felt in the pressure. It's just a good swing, man. He knows how to bracket the syllables in the rhymes. And then later on, you're gonna see him actually kind of step it up. So what's my man talking about, bro?
A ring bells, soon as in ring guns. Blast can shape a rash as in ringworms.
All right, so I gotta make sure, guys, when I take your lyrics, I don't change nothing. I don't move the lyrics around, so sometimes there might be typos. But in this case, it says a ring bells soon as in ring guns. And I thought he was saying I ring bells soon as in ring guns, right? He has this method where he uses as in instead of like for like similes and comparisons. So as in ring guns, I ring bells like I ring guns, right? So ringing bells is what? Getting attention, getting heard. People know who he is. And in a similar fashion, hey, ringing guns, he's shooting weapons as well. So his buzz is as big as his use of fucking weapons, right? Blast can shape a rash as in ringworms, right? Because you'll get a rash on your flesh and it might stay on you, similar to how ringworms look. So there's creative visuals here, and we're going to catch those.
Worms. Be a silent girl so this man can speak. Yo, yo.
All right, so be a silent girl so this man can speak. So he, of course, he's the older one in this formula. If you're a girl, right, you're not a woman or a lady. He made you a silent girl like a kid so this man could speak.
Yo. Duke it out, beatbox or juke it out. Bodies in a retox or puke it out.
All right, so duke it out. Like, you know, we could catch hands. We could fight right now. Beatbox, we can get on a track right now. Just put on a beat or juke it out. I got a few translations for juke it out. You could dodge. You could run, juke, run away. We could dance it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't think of it like a dance battle, but in regards to fighting still. And then juke it out, you could let the jukebox pick the music, or you could let the DJ pick the music. Duke it out, of course, we could fight. Now, he said duke it out as in fighting, and then he follows with beatbox. So I think there's a reference to boxing in some kind of way. Juke it out could be dodge the punches too. Bodies in a retox or puke it out. So the way I saw it was his body is in a retox, And the fighting and the all the things that he's doing in these previous lines is him retoxing, right? Going back into the toxicity. So body's in a retox, or the other option is to puke it out and actually clear himself from all the bullshit, right? So we could fight, we could get on a beat, you could run from me. Body's in a retox, like I'm just taking too much in, or I could let it all go. Really smart.
We're puke it out, belt in a measure, pelt in a treasure, a push or a pull, felt in a pressure.
All right, so this one, I was like, okay, I got you. Belt in a measure. I was like, okay, what the fuck? If you belt something, that's coming straight from the soul, right? In a measure, we're in the music, so it's a music term. So he's belting in a measure. He's putting his soul in the music. Each measure is a bar. So belt in a measure, pelt in a treasure, which is to throw something, right? So throw something in, pelt in a treasure. So belt in a measure, I'm spitting on the beat. Pelt in a treasure is I'm throwing jewels in here. So I pelted in a treasure that I threw to you. A push or a pull felt in a pressure. So the push or the pull is whether we receive the bars, like if we like them or we don't like them. So a push or a pull, right? And then the whole thing translates into a belt concept. So if the belt is in measure, and you push or pull, you're actually applying your belt. He's fastening his belt. So the belt in the measure and a push or pull felt in a pressure is the same concept as assembling a belt visually.
Smart nigga, man.
A push or a pull, felt in a pressure. Mop is in heat spot. Top is in meat rot. Pop is in cheap shot.
All right, so we got the 5-syllable swing. Mop is in heat spot. Top is in meat rock. Pop is in cheap shot, right? Cadence is on point. All syllables are aligned perfectly. And then he's gonna like roll into another rhyme scheme using the ah sound. So pop as in cheap shot, and he's gonna take the shot rhyme and then change it into a whole new rhyme. Lost a quarter, right? And then cross a border. Sounds dope. We get the internal with the E sound, which is going with heat, beat, and cheap. And then he's gonna go into this other flow, but I'm not gonna explain that yet. Just we'll go into lost a quarter.
Is in cheap shot, lost a quarter. Jab in the region, does cross a border.
All right, so you see how he hit lost a quarter and he just left the bar completely empty? That's because he anchored the rhyme. It's like that's the anchor right there. Lost a quarter, you're anchored. Anything he does after that, he basically proved that he's gonna land back on the lost a quarter rhyme with cross a border.
Border, 9 as in brandish, fade as in vanish, cross as in Spanish, out as in banish.
All right, so it's a 5-syllable swing, but the main rhyme is just brandish, vanish, Spanish, and banish, right? But still, it's a 5-syllable swing, and it's 9 as in brandish, fade as in vanish, cross as in Spanish, out as in banish. So it just sounds good. Rhythm's nice. 5-syllable swing, super dope. But what's my nigga saying?
Pressure, mop is in heat spot. Top is in meat rot. Pop is in cheap shot.
All right, so once again, he's not using top like a meat rock or pop like a cheap shot. He's making the comparisons using as in, which is like, all right, as in is what is contained within the subject, right? So as in cheap shot, he's popping you, right? Because in the concept of a cheap shot, inside of the concept of a cheap shot, he's popping you, right? So I kind of fought with this style that he's doing, but I feel like it's original in a few ways. So mop is in heat spot, top is in meat rot, pop is in cheap shot. This is one of those lines I was fighting with until I read it backwards. So pop as in cheap shot is he's gonna shoot you, bang. Top as in meat rock means he's gonna shoot you in your head and he's gonna blow your head open and your meat will rot. And then mop as in heat spot, the spot where he killed you, mop that up. That was like, I just had to do it backwards. And then once I saw it backwards, I ran it forward, it made sense. So mop as in heat spot, to me, the way he's describing this is the heat spot would be where a mess is, right? So mop it up. Top as in meat rock, the concept of when the meat rots, you can see it immediately on top of it, but also the top of your head is where the meat was and it's rotting, right? Pop as in cheap shot because a cheap shot is something you didn't see coming, right? Really good. I see how he's doing. The visuals are all there. It was just like, I fought this one. I had to tell the truth.
Lost a quarter. Pop is in cheap shot, lost a quarter. Jab in the region, does cross a border.
All right, so lost a quarter, jab in the region does cross a border. Okay, I don't know if you're doing double plays with quarter for like actually losing a quarter, jabbing in a quarter into the game, right? If you put a quarter in the machine, you lost a quarter because you're playing games. Lost a quarter. A quarter is someone that measures wood or just measures overall. So if you're measuring wood, I think metaphorically saying a dick measurer, right? So you lost a dick measurer. Jab in a region does cross a border, meaning he punched that person. If I jab in your region where you're located, it crosses the border, hitting you in the face. But also, if you jab into a space or a region, you are crossing borderlines. So there's visuals, man. He's got them all there.
Jin does cross the border. 9 as in brandish. Fade as in vanish. Cross as in Spanish. Out as in banish.
All right, I got this one. So 9 is in brandish, right? But remember, he's replacing like, or like he would use like here instead of as in. We would use like. 9 like brandish, like I brandish, or fade like you'll vanish or something. He's saying 9 as in brandish, right? So 9 is not in brandish. Thematically, conceptually, just technically, 9 is nowhere within the word brandish, nowhere within the context of the definition of the word brandish. So what we have to assume or connect is that he's brandishing the 9, right? So 9 as in brandish, he has the 9, he brandishes the 9. Fade as in vanish, right? So fight and fade are the same thing. He'll beat you up to make you vanish, right? So fade as in vanish, because fade is another way to vanish. Cross as in Spanish, I could not find a connection for it. Out as in banish, because if you banish somebody, they will be out. So I thought he was doing a subliminal play with cross out, right? So 9, fade, cross out, right? So cross as in Spanish, out as in banish. So I thought he would be crossing you out in some kind of way. Let's run it back and see what, like, if it all sounds super dope.
Pressure, mop is in heat spot. Top is in meat rot. Pop is in cheap shot. Lost a quarter. Jab in the region does cross the border. 9 as in brandish. Fade as in vanish. Cross as in Spanish. Out as in banish. 9 round. Ho as a naysayer. Bro has a haymaker in a 9 round.
All right, so ho as a naysayer, right? To go naysayer, right? So ho as a naysayer, bro has a haymaker. I did not connect 9 round with 9 round because I just, it didn't feel, it's the same thing. So ho as a naysayer, bro has a haymaker. So that's 6, I think. Ho as a naysayer, 6-syllable rhyme, 6-syllable swing, really good. Bro has a haymaker in the 9 round. And then we're going to get our first hollow rhyme in the song, and it sounds fucking fantastic.
Round. Buffer is boss, then a huffer is DOS. Puffer is moss when the suffer is lost.
So yeah, everything, all of it's connected, all of it is aligned perfectly on time. Basically 2 perfectly matched sentences. Sounds great. And he's using the doom style of rap, which is buffer, huffer, puffer, and suffer. It's very difficult because we slant rhymers will use buffer and pucker and sucker and still go back to uffer somehow. But he's only anchoring to the UFFER. That shit is not easy to do. Boss, DOS, moss, and lost, these are all perfect rhymes. He's really like following that doom style. Doom really anchors to the perfects, which is fucking difficult.
Horse does not weather pain. No winds for a bird, era featherweight.
All right, so does not weather pain, era featherweight, right? All of the syllable-wise and flow-wise matches, but weather pain and featherweight is the actual rhyme, man. My dude's doing it. So what's he talking about?
Wish 9 round. Ho as a naysayer, bro has a haymaker in a 9 round.
All right, so okay. Ho as a naysayer, so you come out and call, like, if you're saying I don't believe in you, right? Then he is bro, right? Boppa is bro. He has a haymaker in a 9 round, right? Which is inside the round, inside the bullet. So the haymaker that would knock you out is the bullet, right? In a 9 round, not the 9th round. It's not a parallel to the 9th round. I don't believe it is. If we parallel it to the 9th round of a boxing match, then maybe the first time he says 9 round. So like the first time he says 9 round right here is pretty much setting you up with the idea that in the 9th round, he's going to be taking out his opponent. If you ho as a naysayer, which would be to go against him, he himself will knock you out in the 9th round, right? Bro has a haymaker in a 9 round. So that's the only way I could associate that with boxing. But to me, it just sounds better with the gun. So bro has a haymaker in a 9 round, inside of a 9 round, a bullet, nigga. What else?
9 round. Buffer is boss, then a huffer is DOS. Puffer is moss when the suffer is lost.
All right, as good as it sounds, that's hard to do. Buffer is boss, right? After he did the 9 round, after the knockout line, right? The haymaker, buffer is boss, right? Stronger is better. That's just how it works. Buffer is boss. Being stronger is the boss. That's how you win. Then a huffer is DOS, right? So a huffer, I thought was somebody that like does drugs or huffs paints or just huffs and talks for no reason. Then a huffer is Doss, which is like just slept on a corner in dire straits. Puffer is moss. I thought a puffer was a pussy. So puffer is moss, which is soft, like the grass moss. When a suffer is lost. So when they take a L, right? So the puffer is moss when a suffer is lost, right?
For his loss does not weather pain. No winds for a bird, air a featherweight.
All right, so after the sufferer loss does not weather pain. But he's also saying he does not weather pain, which is in relation to the weather concept. Now, weather pain, this weather pain line to me is an association to weather vane. A weather vane is the bird you prop on top of the barn that gets affected by wind. That's how the following line goes: no winds for a bird, air a featherweight. So if this man tried to do a subliminal play of does not weather vane, so he replaced it with weather pain. And when you translate it, you're going, oh, well, maybe he's talking about a weather vane. And then the no winds for a bird will align with weather vane. So if there's no winds for a bird and he didn't say weather vane, I thought that was the concept thematically. That's one of those MF Doom fucking puzzles. So no winds for a bird, air a featherweight, right? A featherweight would be the bird as well. And also it's for the birds. So, you know, one of those concepts as well. My man's got ideas. He's got ideas.
No winds for a bird, air a featherweight. Barren violence, bone on a spic has, speed up a bitch ass, death stare in silence.
All right, so barren violence, stare in silence. He opens the bar with barren violence and he closes it all with stare in silence. Really good. 4-syllable rhyme, 4-syllable swing. Then he anchors on spic has, bitch ass. Real simple, real fast.
Death stare in silence, barren violence, bone on a spic has, speed up a bitch ass, death stare in silence, barren violence, bone on a spic has, speed up a bitch ass, death stare in silence.
All right, hold on real quick. So concept, right? Bare in violence being completely bare, meaning exposed, showing himself through the concept of violence. And I assumed, without being, you know, I don't want to assume everything, but I assumed the violence was in relation to the bars, right? So bare in violence, exposing myself while spitting. Bone on a spic has, beat up a bitch ass, death stare in silence. So I thought the bone was in relation to the death because the skull and bones. So bone on a spic has, beat up a bitch ass, death stare in silence. I thought that's what that was.
In silence, barren violence, bone on a spic has, speed up a bitch ass, death stare in silence, duke it out, beatbox or juke it out, bodies in a retox or puke it out, bed stack, net jack, pet rat get hacked, can rip a spic up as jetpack, wetback.
All right, so check that one out. Okay, so the duke it out, juke it out, puke it out. We already did that. He did this in the first verse. The beatbox retox match all in the first. So the new rhyme though: bet stack, net jack, pet rat get hacked, can rip a spic up as jetpack, wetback. Man, a lot of connections, really fast. Bunch in the cut. Oh, yeah, y'all hear this flow, but I want y'all to know bunch in the cut and punch in the gut are the pair. That's the ones you should listen to. This is a stunt right here, so just watch.
Up as jetpack, wetback, punch in the cut, scars chips, par as dips, R as slips, far as rips, punch in the gut.
All right, so he opens up with bunch in the cut, and then he's gonna stunt off of scar as chips, par as dips, R as slips, far as rips, punch in the gut, right? That's a stunt. Start with a rhyme, dance with another rhyme, and come back and land on the original rhyme you have.
Punch in the gut, jar is fist brass, tar is spics pass, bar is trips has, mar is his class.
All right. It's time to get real, y'all. As dope as this rhyme is, as good as it sounds, how everything comes together, I feel the force. It's forced, man. Jar as fist brass, tar as spics pass, bar as trips has, mar as hist class. And if I didn't read your lyrics, I would have not heard hist like history. So it just, I personally think this is forced. Jar is fist brass, tar is spics pass, far as trips has, mar as his class. That's forced, man. I have to call it a force. I'm sorry. But everything else, I love. Everything else is good. Bunch in the cut, scars, chips. I won't even be mad at the scars, chips, pars, dips part. But let's get into it, man. What's my man talking about?
Duke it out, beatbox or juke it out, bodies in a retox or puke it out.
All right, so remember, we could battle it. We could just put on some beats, or you could get up out of here, right?
Bet stack, net jack, pet rat get hacked.
All right, so bet a stack. Give me some, bet a stack, bet 1,000. Bet stack, net jack. That means he's plugging into the internet, right? Net jack, pet rack, get hack, right? I saw pet rack and I tried to find every way to connect it and I just couldn't find it. But I know the get hack connects to the net jack because it's an internet play, right? So bet stack, net jack, pet rack, I'm thinking just a bunch of animals lined up that he's taking out. Get hack, right? So get hack is the hack is in relation to the internet concept. So get hacked. But also these animals are on a pet rack and they're getting hacked. He's like cutting them up. Can rip a spic up as jetpack wetback, meaning if he's in the internet, his avatar's name would be jetpack wetback. Booyah. So it's all connected, man. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. It's just he's anchoring all the sense he can make into the fucking rhyme. So it's bet, stack, net, jack, pet, rack, get hack. And it's like, man, you have to really actually see the connections, man. It's really hard to do this.
Rack get hacked, can rip a spic up as jetpack wetback.
And it's all perfects too, but anyway.
Punch in the cut, scar as chips, par as dips, R as slips, far as rips, punch in the gut.
All right, so bunch in the cut, and then the cut is in relation to the scar, right? So scar is chips. I related the chips to somehow police because I couldn't think of what else, like a chip, like a scar is a chip on your shoulder. So bunch in the cut, scar is chips, par is dips. So you're just scar as chips is in relation to the cut. Par as dips is in relation to the person's ability to spit bars, right? So par as dips, and then R as slips is just a rhyme. I don't see anything in R as slips. That's all I see is just another rhyme to keep shit going. Far as rips, punch in the gut. So I thought far as rips is like being cut up or ripped up or even killed, or a rip of the bomb. And then a punch in the gut is maybe just the way you feel afterward. But bunch in the cut, punch in the gut, I just saw like all the connections in between, just being he gonna fuck you up, right? Then I grade this one out because I just graded out because it's a force, man. It don't work for me. So jar as fist brass, right? I'm like, okay, brass knuckles. I'm thinking brass knuckles. Jar as fist brass. I'm like, okay, so he's punching hard, right? We had the punch in the gut. And then the fist brass, I'm like, okay, so he's punching you with brass knuckles. That's the only connection I got from there. And then tar as spic's pass, which was like what, crossing borders perhaps. Bar as trips has. Mar as his class. Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, I grade that out, brother. I'm sorry. But the rest of the track, we good.
Punch in the gut, jar is fist brass, tar is spic's pass, bar is trips has, mar is his class. Do sharp pushbacks, can be an ox or shove. Do not ever last, who can box or glove.
All right, so be a nox or shove, who can box or glove, right? But the rhyme is ox or shove, box or glove. We got the internals with backs, last, nap, bag. So Eddie Knapp is gonna he likes to introduce the rhyme at the beginning and then land on it later. So be an Eddie Knapp, and then he's gonna land on heavy bag with some internals with turn bud and talk. You'll hear it. I can't read it because the way he says these words is like tongue twisters.
Box or glove, be an Eddie Knapp, turn bud in the tox, burn up in the box, or a heavy bag.
Turn bud in a tox, burn up in a box, or a heavy bag. So all of the cadences are there, the rhythms are there, bro. He knows what he's doing.
Spic is numero, thick is primero, corass in a straw, pick is sombrero.
So we got the 4-syllable, Vic is primero, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I just bracketed all of them because it was just a smooth rhyme, sounded really good.
Brero, needy Rodriguez, can be an ass broke Speedy Gonzalez.
All right, so Needy Rodriguez, Speedy Gonzalez. My bad, y'all. I missed Needy and Speedy rhyme, if you didn't know. But the bracket here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Needy Rodriguez, Speedy Gonzalez. They have the same 5 syllables. But the rhyme, I just matched Gez and then Speedy and Needy. I forgot to highlight it. My bad, y'all. But yeah, real dope, real smooth. But what is my man talking about?
Do sharp pushbacks, can be an ox or shove. Do not ever last, who can box or glove.
All right, so do sharp pushbacks. Can it be an ox or shove, right? I just thought of it as fighting. He's doing the pushback is from boxing, and everything in this kind of concept is going to be about boxing. So do sharp pushbacks can be an ox or shove, which is related to the pushbacks. Do not ever last, who can box or glove, right? So the everlast boxing gloves. And it's like one of these word associations that kind of surprised me. Like, where did this come from? Be an Eddie Knapp, turn bud into tox, right? So I thought turn bud into tox like he's gonna light him up. Turn bud into tox like weed. So bud as in weed, light him up, turn him into tox. I thought it was like toxins or something, right? So B and Eddie Knapp turn bud into tox, burn up in a box or a heavy bag, right? So I thought burn up in the box was in relation to losing a boxing match, like burn up in a box and fight him, or a heavy bag. Like I'll put your body in a heavy bag and beat it up. I've seen this kind of shit in a movie. So I thought everything in green is related to some fighting shit. And then turn bud into tox. I just felt like it was in relation to burning somebody up, but he goes right back into the boxing thing.
In boxer glove, B and Eddie Knapp, turn bud into tox, burn up in the box, or a heavy bag, spic is numero, thick is primero, pour ass in a straw, pick is sombrero.
All right, not my Spanish isn't the strongest, but check the number Vic is first or Vic is one, and then pick a sombrero. So pour ass in a straw sombrero. So he's number one, but he's broke as fuck.
Pick your sombrero.
And then it goes into the Needy Rodriguez, and the Needy Rodriguez is just a play off of Speedy Gonzalez, right? He didn't need to rhyme them. The concept is actually its own kind of concept. Needy Rodriguez is exactly the parody name of a Speedy Gonzalez, right? That's how you get the can be a broke ass Speedy Gonzalez.
Sombrero, Needy Rodriguez can be an ass broke Speedy Gonzalez.
All right, so yeah. So the poor ass in a straw pick ass sombrero. So poor ass in a straw sombrero, Needy Rodriguez can be a broke ass Speedy Gonzalez. So he's just saying that's what he looks like. Interesting guy. Interesting.
Broke Speedy Gonzalez. Baron violence, bone on a spic has, speed up a bitch ass, death staring silence, Baron violence, bone on a spic has, beat up a bitch ass, death staring silence, Baron violence, bone on a spic has, beat up a bitch ass, death staring silence, Baron violence, bone on a spic has, beat up a bitch ass, death staring silence. Be a silent girl so this man can speak. Or ring bells, soon as in ring guns. Blast can shape a rash as in ringworms.
That's my man's. Big Boppa. Pause. So shout out to my man Boppa. Thank you, brother. Some density in this one, man. It's a lot of ideas, a lot of layers going on in this one. If I missed anything, let me know because you got some stuff going on this one, brother. Later on, the rhyme started to pick up. The cadences are always going to be where they are if you know how to rhyme. So my man knows his timing. I think everything he did on this track is what he wanted to do. As far as the quality of the track, like the way it sounds is very raw. It's very raw. The vocals are very raw. The backing vocals are very raw. Just some straight up hip hop shit. Honestly, it's kind of reminiscent to the quality you would hear from like what Earl would produce, and even like early Doom, just as raw as Doom would make his shit sound. My man's technique as far as rhyming is concerned, he does like them perfects, man. He really works on that Doom style. It's not easy to rhyme perfect. It's not. When we have so many easy slant rhymes we can just get away with, I really do feel like Boppa made the effort to go for the perfects. And then only one instance of sounding forced. Usually some guys I cover, I'm like, man, this shit is forced. And my man knows what he's doing. So shout out to Boppa, man. Beat is dope. Quality of the song overall, very good, man. But yeah, man, if you guys are interested in getting your song broken down in a similar fashion, holla at your boy, Lyricology101 mail@gmail.com. Please add the mail or you won't get it to me. If you wanted to contact me in any other ways, you can contact me at Instagram. I almost forgot what Instagram was. Instagram at Lyricology101. I have not used Twitter in so long. I'm not on Threads. Yeah, you could essentially just find me on Instagram or on my email, man. Love you guys so much. We got more content coming. This next year is going to be very interesting. We got transitions right now. So I love you guys. There's more material coming. Still got the end breakdown and so many more things. If you sent a breakdown to me earlier, it's going to be out very, very soon. Love you guys. Shout out to Boppa. Shout out to all you. Have a beautiful day. And don't forget, we're the artists.